Myth-busting Ouija stitions, proven or busted. As we come into the holiday season of Halloween, the colors and smells of fall and the chilly nights by a campfire just enhance the urges to watch, see, and read things that are scary. It just seems to go with the season and the festivities of Halloween. This is a time people pull the old Ouija out of the closet and blow the dust off thinking it will be a fun party game. Well, it could definitely get interesting. The term Ouija-stitions and the following list of myths have been found during my research on the site of the Museum of Talking Boards, as well as others, while doing research for a book I wrote, Ouija is Not Just a Game. After finding these myths, I was inspired to retort and have included some of my favorite Ouija stitions for your Halloween season enjoyment. Due to the many stories, true and embellished, the reputation of the spirit board is mostly one of fear. These myths, no matter how silly or seemingly unfounded they could be, usually stem from some basis of truth, whether from an honest experience or from one blown out of proportion, or the movie industry. The spirit board has the power to create its own shady rep. Never play alone. Busted. The spirit board is no more or less harmful when using it alone or as a group. A person prone to possession will be equally vulnerable either way, also, having nothing to do with the tool itself. Parker Brothers, of course, will suggest that it only works with two or more. This is due to the fact that channeling that energy as a singular user takes a lot of practice or a natural aptitude for channeling. For the average person, using a board alone right out of the gate or box won't work. I personally find using it alone to be of greater value to the information received, which also negates any trust issues with other users. It was working the board as a solitary that showed me its true value. If the planchette goes to the four corners of the board, it means you have contacted an evil spirit. Busted. Another Hollywood fable makes history. In actuality, if this happened, you're most likely to have a confused or agitated spirit that is having an issue with the mode of communication. Closing the session and starting over would be a good solution. Try asking for a translator in case of language barriers, or try yes-no questions until things smooth out in the communication process. If the planchette falls from the Ouija board, a spirit will get loose. Busted. Where do they get this rubbish? Oh yeah, once again, the movie scene influence on a taboo subject. If your planchette falls to the ground, hope it has a soft landing, because a broken planchette will need to be replaced. This will be your greatest concern. Seriously. If the planchette repeatedly makes a figure 8, it means that an evil spirit is in control of the board. Busted. This is straight out of Witch Board. Are we catching a theme to these myths yet? The figure 8 or infinity symbol is actually used often in high magic as a symbol of eternal life and to communicate with the eternal spirits and divinity. The Egyptians revered it greatly in their mystic symbols as well. Any level of true spiritualist or practitioner should realize this myth as a pile you need waiters for. If you should get an evil spirit, quickly turn the planchette upside down and use it that way. Busted. I will inform you, as I suppress my insane laughter, that this will not help you should you get a malevolent energy interacting with you. What you should do, however, is immediately call upon the spirit guides protecting your session. You didn't protect it? Ouch, that could get creepy later. But rebuke the communication and invoke the closing of the board. Refuse the spirit further passage or presence in your dwelling or place of use, and smudge and bless your area and tools and put it all away for a few days. Evil spirits contacted through the Ouija board will try to win your confidence with false flattery and lies. Proven. The fact here is that any spirit communication is subject to the same trickery that any person you don't know may harbor. Spirits and entities can lie, deceive with truth, manipulate information based on your desires, and be just as devious and untrustworthy as others can be trusted and relied on. This is where discernment comes in handy. Follow your intuition and pay close attention to any doubts you have with the integrity of the communication. Always be respectful and never upset the spirits. Proven. This is just good manners. Whether you're having a corporeal or incorporeal conversation, it's never nice to goad, incite, inflame, enrage, or offend your guests. 3 things never to ask a Ouija board. Never ask about God. Busted. There is no viable reason not to ask. Do realize, however, that the answer will be as jaded or inspired as the spirit's own perception. This answer will be as varied as the types of spirits there are to communicate with. Knowing that, it is just as safe to ask a spirit as it is to ask an embodied being. Their answers should be taken with the same consideration or dispute as anyone else. Never ask when you're going to die. Busted. You can ask, but they rarely really know. Don't think they won't make it up if they deem it amusing, however. While some events of the future may be set in stone, the timing of the event may vary based on a myriad of decisions and choices leading up to that event. Also, time as we know it in the physical dimension does not exist in the spiritual ones and tends to be very confusing to those in spirit dimensions to communicate. Never ask where the gold is buried. Undecided. While once again I don't find the question to be the danger, thinking of the hours spent digging at the whim of some spirit's amusement could be a real downside here. I personally would find the pendulum to be more useful for locating the place to dig. Perhaps the spirit board can narrow down the location to walk the pendulum around. So this Halloween, while sipping your homebrew organic hard cider, if someone pulls the Ouija out and thinks it'll be funny to see what it will do, you might want to quietly slip outside and ask for protection for yourself and your friends, or just test it out for yourself and see what happens. Either way, it's not just a game. You can receive a free copy of the book for further instructions and to read the full 21 ridiculous and credible myths about this ancient tool by contributing $1 or more to A New Light Video Magazine to support the staff, research, and efforts to bring more great topics into a new perspective. Visit the resources page at www.innewlightvideomagazine.com to get one. This is Samantha Phenix with Mystic Corner of the New Light Video Magazine.